Hello everybody. We left Dan's Make and Offer acres yesterday. I was a little bit sad. This one over here, she really loved being at that property, and she was further bonding with Dan, and right now she's crying. There are some of the biggest bees and flies I've ever seen here in the mountains. So it was a little sad. We both enjoyed ourselves and are thankful to Dan for hosting us. But there were a few reasons why I felt like I needed to leave. One, my allergies. When I got into the Central Valley, my allergies just hit me like a ton of bricks. And because we went from early spring in the mountains down to kind of early summer, even midsummer, like everything was in bloom and pollen everywhere, and it wasn't a little allergies, it was big time. Kind of like what hit me at my family's in Wisconsin when I was building my van out. That was like nothing I had ever experienced. This one was not quite as bad, but it was close. So I needed to get back to higher elevation, less stuff blooming. Although there's stuff blooming here too, but I think it's not nearly as bad. So we left there, we went to Redding, and Redding, when we got there in the morning, it was already hot. It was in the 80s. I needed to do a little shopping and then use the internet to upload a video, and the internet was so slow, so we had to be there for quite a long time. But we found a nice park to spend the day in, and so by the time we left, it was in the 90s. And that was another reason why we left. It was the temperature was just getting too high, and it's going to be creeping up from there even. So we made it to Shasta County, and we are at a little turnoff on this mountain road in National Forest land. And I don't know if you can see, but we're surrounded by snowy mountains. I think we're even there's even snow at this elevation if you find a shady enough spot. And we are on this road, goes up to Castle Lake, which is a popular spot mostly in the summer because people go to fish and swim. And there's lots of bugs here though. And right now it's above that snow line, and it's probably not any good for recreation other than like snowshoeing. But this is one of the reasons why this area is so special. This is Mount Shasta, and there's something so special about Mount Shasta. I did a video about all the interesting thoughts people have about Mount Shasta. I did that last fall, if you'd like to look it up. And I'm not so much into all the mystical theories, and there's even religions based on that mountain. Not so much into that, but these forests and mountains around here they just feel special. They're just gorgeous, and there's definitely, maybe you'd say, an energy to this place, maybe more so than others. So today we're going to head up to the lake. There's supposed to be a campground up there, but there's so much snow I didn't see it when we came in yesterday afternoon. Right now we're on this very large turnoff off the main road. But what's cool is that there's this, I don't know, little hill, berm, whatever you'd call it. It's full of flowering shrubs and trees. And that blocks the noise, some of the noise, and the view of the road that's just right on the other side. And really, there's not even very many vehicles coming up and down here. I'm sure in the summer this place gets crazy, especially on the weekend. But right now, there's maybe a car every 30 minutes. And at night, I must say, I think this is probably the quietest place I've ever slept in my van. It was... yeah, not a sound. I think at first, as I was falling asleep, my head was playing tricks on me, or my imagination was playing tricks on me, and I was thinking I was hearing wild animals outside. But yeah, it was quiet, and it was dark. So So it's like real wilderness. So this is another potential camping area right here. This is not the campground that I spoke of, but it does have a really beautiful view of Shasta, but it kind of feels like a parking lot. And there's little roads that go off here. I don't think I would fit on some of these little ones. And this is a little rough getting in here, but at least there's another option. Here's one of the more substantial snowmelt waterfalls on the side of the road. Pretty. This is Castle Lake. Just starting to defrost here. Most of it's still covered in snow and ice. It is something like 45 acres of water, which when you look at it from here, it doesn't seem that big, but that's what I read. This end of it is the shallow end. It's only like a foot or two deep. And then as it goes further, it goes to 120 feet deep or 150 feet, something like that. So it's pretty deep. This is a glacier-made lake. It was formed, I think I read it was 10,000 years ago. Yeah, so this is Castle Lake. Pretty. So the water is so clear here. I was just walking up to it and didn't realize that the water is right here. I was about to keep stepping on down there right into the water. So originally, the native people called this lake Devil's Lake, or Lake of the Devil. And they called it that because of the eerie noises that this lake would make when it was frozen in the winter. Now they think it's probably due to the ice on the lake shifting. And now it's time for the usual snow crazies. You're gonna miss the snow. We're not gonna have it much longer. So we're walking on this packed snow, but there is a river running underneath us. So it's hard to know where to walk and where not to walk. Everything is melting. This is where it might start getting dangerous. There's like large hollow areas under the snow. I do not want to break a leg back here. I don't want to break a leg anywhere. So we just had some hikers. They just asked me where the trail was that went around the lake. I said, well, it's underneath the snow somewhere. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing a 10-mile hike in this kind of snow, unless you're very familiar with the area, you know, where the path is, because they had no idea. But they said they were not expecting this much snow. Well, we're at 6,000 feet elevation, I think. So snow sticks around until like June, right? Sometimes later. Although it's obviously melting right now. It's nice and warm. You can smell the pine trees. They're all baking in the sun. cooking curry outside my van. It has to reduce because I had light coconut milk. And it's getting some attention. I'm getting squirrels and birds. I don't know if the birds are attracted to the smell of the food or not, but they keep coming and landing over here. But there is a cute squirrel that keeps trying to sneak over. Now he's doing a belly crawl through the bush now. I guess he wasn't interested in my curry after all. I guess it's an acquired taste. Somebody just chased away my squirrel friend. She was jealous. She was sleeping in her bed inside the van and she came leaping out. But thankfully she's on a lead, or else she probably would have ran into that extremely thick brush. So the curry sauce is finally starting to thicken. It's been reducing forever. And it's probably simmering a little too hard, but I don't want to wait all night long. So in here we have coconut milk. We have that light coconut milk because the store had light organic coconut milk on a super deal. And then there's onions, which I would have preferred shallots, but you know, you use what you have. And then, garam masala powder, curry powder, and garlic and sea salt and cayenne pepper. And then I made lamb meatballs to go in, which all that's in here is lamb and onion, and then spices, like the same pretty much that are in the curry sauce. The curry powder, cayenne pepper, salt, and garlic. I'm going to add those to this right now because I think it's reduced pretty well now. And then just kind of coat them in this. So I first browned the meatballs in this pan. And also they usually, if you have it, you would put ghee in the curry sauce with the coconut, but I didn't, so I used Kerrygold butter. The next best thing. And then I'll let this, the meatballs didn't fully cook through, they just sort of browned, so I'm going to let them cook in this curry for a little bit longer, maybe 5 minutes. Here is the garam masala. I figure some people don't know what this is. It's a type of curry. There's all different types of curry. Even in Indian cuisine, there's lots of different types. And this one is a very like clovey curry. And let's just see what the ingredients are. Coriander, cinnamon, fennel, cumin, black pepper, cardamom, clove. Yeah, and to me that clove really stands out, and so does the cinnamon. So it almost comes across as a little bit sweet, but it's generally used in savory dishes, and I think you would just add more spices like garlic and salt to make it a more balanced flavor. Well, this is not the most attractive meal I've ever made, but I used what I had. I didn't have that much. I got creative. You know what I would really like with this, other than rice, but I'm intentionally not eating rice? I would really like some fresh herbs, like a chopped up fresh cilantro or fresh mint even, something like that. That would take it to the next level. But this is dinner. This'll do. It's low carb, keto friendly.